Welcome back, everybody. Today I wanted to dive into the new event that came out yesterday, and I do apologize, I am a day late. I've been a little bit under the weather, excuse me, so bear with me, and I want to explain my overall strategy if you're going to invest in this one. And we've seen these before, ladies and gentlemen, so this is nothing new. I like to call it the Wheel of Fortune event, call it what you will, but they have the dual wheels here for you. Two sets of keys, or I should say two types of keys, usually advanced and a basic or a golden here for you, and either one you do, you can go ahead and unlock a chance at these prizes. But let's cut to the chase here, because we all know the really main goal is to get the currency for these events and then try to unlock the prizes. And they did come out finally with some winner based themes here for us. We've all been teased with the cutscenes and animations and technically contests on their Facebook page to go ahead and be able to maybe obtain one of these sprites. And they came out with the new mech droid, which was a cutscene that I saw a few days ago kind of come through. It looks like a ring here for us, and then some of the other ones that have been around forever. However, this is a pretty static event, meaning every time it comes out, it usually takes the same kind of investment to really capitalize, at least as far as gaining an actual obtainment of one of these prizes. I went ahead and did the math for us anyway, because sometimes you can double or triple dip based on the secondary events, but this one's pretty cut and dry. So for those who want to, or wondering, how should I do it if I really want to guarantee myself one of these prizes, just as mentioned before, or the last one, it's going to be another $100. And I hate to say that, I'm personally not dropping another $100 on this. I'm happy with what I have at the current moment. But if you want to, this is what I came up with. So just as before on the last time, if you look at the top-up screen, you're going to have a few options. And usually the last couple, they've been doing it with this strategy. 2 top-ups consecutively in a single transaction will gain you the most amount of keys, which then should net you the most amount of currency, right? So in this case, it's going to be 2 increments of $50. We'll grab you the 90 keys and the 100 of the yellow. All right. But if you look at the top-up screen over here, if you scroll down, you're going to grab another 20 and 100, 10 and 40, 10 and 20, 20 and 10 as well from that top-up, okay? So long story short, I won't bore you with finding all the places where you get keys from and how you get them. I'll just kind of break down the math here for you, all right? So if you were to go ahead and start today, all right, I know I missed yesterday, but these events doesn't really matter a whole lot minus the daily activities, which will gain you a few keys anyway. So usually basic, unless you're spending diamonds and or topping up a small amount for yourself, aren't going to gain a lot of the red keys to begin with. Consumable tab, just quickly, I'm not going to come back to it. It has nothing to do with the currency of the event, so at your discretion, you can choose if you want to go ahead and partake. And honestly, you're going to have to guarantee one of these prizes, and I'll explain that here right now. So if you were to go ahead and just from the top-up event, meaning this right here, okay, and then the actual Fairyland event from the top-up, you're going to gain 100 yellow keys and 90 red keys from the top up here. You're going to gain another 200 yellow and 40 red keys from this right here. Okay, so that puts you at 130 red keys and 300 yellow keys. All right, now if you were to go ahead and transfer those, meaning under the Fairyland event, if you went to the activities and 5 a day, kick 5 of those over to red keys, you would obviously gain another 20 red keys if you did it yesterday, if not 15, and you would lose another 75 to 100 yellow keys. So I'm going to go ahead and do the math. I did the math assuming we did this throughout the entire event, so forgive me that I'm a day late, but that would come down to 200 yellow keys and 155 red keys. Okay, that's sheer numbers that you have just from dropping the $100 on the event. Okay, now the strategy of actually using the keys comes into play as well, because as you've probably noticed with the activity, as you spend them, you will gain some keys back. Okay, so let's start with the red keys, because obviously those are the most important, because it gives you the higher currency which you need to gain the actual prizes. With that being said, if I were going to do this starting today, I would use 100 red keys today, 50 and then 50, so the next 2 days. So you're probably wondering, well, how is 155 keys enough to go 100 today, 50 tomorrow? Rob, I only have 5 keys left, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. However, because you obtain a lot of these keys back, if you were to spend 100 keys today, you would get 28 red keys back. If you spend 50 tomorrow, then you're going to grab another 18 back, okay? So if I do that math really quick for you, that's going to be another 46 keys back, plus the 5 you already have gives you 51 to spend the next day, and then reinvest the last keys you've acquired from that day, the other 18. From that day to have another 19 keys left, assuming I'm not missing any others, okay? So that's the best way to capitalize on the reinvestment of the keys, which will also give you the most chances, obviously, to go ahead and get that currency. Now, the currency itself is, based on statistics, and I ran these numbers based on sheer even odds, right? So for case of the argument for the red currency, there is a 1 in 8 chance to get 3, okay? So if I take that based on the overall number of keys of 219 that I'm going to get throughout this event, if I follow that strategy to a T, I'm going to go ahead and get 82.125 red currency. Now, hopefully you're doing less of that, maybe get lucky and you get more than that, right? That's what you're going to end up with on an even statistical level. And on the yellow side to it, from spending those red keys, you have a 1 in 4 shot of getting 15 yellow currency. And that's basically because you have 110 and 120, which equals 30. But because there's 2 of them and there's 8, it's actually a 1 in 4 shot of getting 15, just based on the odds, which will end you up with 410 yellow currencies, okay? So again, that's not enough to go ahead and grab any one of those top prizes, right? You need 100 red and 500 yellow to net any of them, whether you're buying one essence at a time or you're buying the, the mount at 100 red currency and 500 yellow. So where the extra play comes in here for you is you also have to consider you're going to have 200 yellow keys left over, right? So 200 yellow keys there for you is going to go ahead and net a chance here of 3.5, because a 1 in 4 shot of getting 3.5 currency here for you, right? So you take the 200 and you divide it by 4, and then you multiply that by 3.5, and you're going to end up, with another 209 yellow currency for you, right? So the yellows shouldn't be a problem just based on the overall investment of the keys. Now you can do that how you like. You can only get bonuses from doing 50. So if you want to do 150, 50 along with your red keys being used, that's fine. If you want to do 50, 50, and 100, whatever you want to do, just make sure you do 50, at least 50 a day, just so you get the most reward back to you. But at the end of the day, statistically, you're going to end up with enough yellow currency to buy whatever prize you want, okay? Now the red is the main problem here, because you're wondering, well, how do I get the rest of them, right? Now this is where that investment comes back in, meaning you're going to have to go ahead and invest those diamonds back into this event if you're statistically even with the odds of what you get, meaning you don't get lucky and get more red currency from those rolls. So if you reinvest the diamonds you bought, will gain you another 50 red keys, and the 50 red keys, if I go ahead and do that here for you, statistically even, will gain another 18.75 red currency. So 82 plus 18 equals the 100 you need. Now this is based again on if everything is just even flat. You still have a chance after all of that you get unlucky in your rolls and you still don't gain the 100 red currency you need. But I can only do the math on the averages here for you. But I wanted to break it down. This one is not for me. There's not a double or trip up buy-in. I'm not going to necessarily 100% gain a prize and maybe 2 or 3, right? If I'm dropping that amount of money, I'm going to need at least 2, possibly 3 items back for me to really think it's worth it. But if you're one that, either likes to invest in these or, has the resources, that's totally fine. And then on the flip side, for those free players or ones that, don't like spending a lot of money, I personally said a few videos ago that if you pay attention to be patient with one of these and pick a single item you want to work towards through 3 or 4 events, so a month, 5, 6 weeks, you'll still be able to obtain it, right? So make sure you're getting all your yellows, converting your red keys, get your 20 red keys you're going to spend throughout the event. Make sure you spend them on the last day so you get the amount of kickbacks from using all of them at once, in the event activities. And go ahead and get as many essences of that individual item as you can, and then just continue to save them. My wife does this quite often, and it takes a little bit longer, but she's earned quite a few of these high-end prizes, whether they're Elysian, Sprites, or mounts, without spending any money, right? And you have that pride of earning it as well. So if you're a free player, fear not. It's not going to get the instant gratification, but just make sure you're setting yourself up for success in the future and not looking at these as an arbitrary single event, but a one step or a stone, a stepping stone for you to continue that path to gain what you're actually trying to achieve. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if there's anything you'd like to have me make here for you, go ahead and comment below, and I'll see you in the next episode.